This is a message to everybody who is getting in their own way when it comes to having an online presence through social media. So whether that is, keeping up with your Instagram account or starting a blog or being consistent with YouTube videos. If you are introvert or shy or just feel that there's something unnatural about doing that, then I think I have a solution, and this video is for you. You see, posting pictures of yourself or filming yourself or just talking to yourself, everything about the whole process behind social media is rather unnatural when you think about it. It doesn't feel like something that one would normally do. And this is something I mentioned a few videos ago with regards to me and Instagram, and it's something that a few of you seem to really resonate with. So I've been thinking about that quite a bit lately. And the reason that I struggle with that is because I feel like I am interrupting somebody's day with my words or my videos or just myself. I kind of feel, what authority do I have to insert myself into someone's life just because they follow me on social media? But then I realized, you know what else isn't a normal thing to do? It isn't normal, and I wouldn't consider it within my personality, to walk into a room full of people and go, right, everyone quiet, listen to me, stop what you're doing, look at me, pay attention to me. That isn't something that comes normal to me, but I do it all the time because I am a teacher. And see, the difference is, although that is not something that comes naturally to me, I do that and I feel okay doing that because they are behaviors that I associate with being a teacher. So I am a teacher and a teacher does this. That's the connection. That is why I feel okay acting that way. And similarly, when you are watching a YouTube video, or if you are just scrolling through someone's Instagram feed, you're not going to be thinking, oh, how weird is it that they're taking photos of themselves, or, how weird is it that they're talking to a camera? You'll just be thinking, well, this person is an Instagram or this person is a YouTuber, so that is what they do. That is part of their job description. We sometimes feel that we need to back up the labels that we choose as our identity with evidence. So it's one of the core things of minimalism for me is that, you can love a band without owning that band's merchandise, and you can love a TV show without owning all the series on DVD. And also, you don't need to be making a living from social media, and you don't need to have, millions of fans and subscribers and followers to be someone who is trying to build a brand on social media. You might also be struggling committing to something where it is just you holding you accountable. So for me, I know that, if my actions are going to interfere with someone else's goals or with someone else's life, or I'm going to be letting someone else down, then that's a big deal for me, and I will work extra hard to make sure that doesn't happen. But when it comes to my own goals and my own successes, it's fine because it's just me. No one, doesn't matter because it's just me. And that's backwards. That's not the way it should be at all. But the truth is that it's 2018 and we live in a world where your online presence is often more important than your CV. So, if you consider yourself a photographer or an artist, then your Instagram page is your portfolio. Or if you want to be someone who can prove that they can speak to people or that they can communicate their ideas effectively, then you can do that really well through a YouTube channel. If you want to do anything creative, and if you want to do anything where you are showing that you've taken the initiative to do something, social media is so important. And long gone are the days where it just being about keeping in touch with family or showing what you've been up to or this kind of thing. It's business now. So I've written a contract for me and also for you. So it's from myself to myself and from yourself to yourself. So it's our own contracts. And what I want to do, if you feel at all uneasy about putting yourself out there online, is I want you to read it, to fill it in, and to have it somewhere where you'll see it most days. So you can hang it on the wall, you can have it on your desk, but keep it somewhere where you'll be able to see it. So I want you to think of it as a real contract, but even more binding because it is to yourself and you owe yourself everything. You need to have your own back. You need to be working with yourself in order to get to where you want to be. So this is the contract. I, the undersigned, understand that building my personal brand through social media platforms is an important part of making progress in any area of business. As someone who wishes to grow their online presence to increase the amount of opportunities for the future, I am committed to putting in the time and effort required. I agree to the following commitments. So this is a part of the contract that you might think of as the job description. So you want to commit to the various platforms that you are on and how regularly you're going to upload. So the key is to make it kind of consistent and regular, but without it being too much of a stress. So I've said, for example, that I'm going to upload to my blog 5 days a week, which I think is a nice balance of realistic but also a bit of a challenge. And further down the contract, there's also a holidays/days off per annum. And the way I worked mine out was I thought I'll have 10% of my uploads off. So if I'm uploading to my blog 5 days a week, then that means that I've uploaded 260 over the course of a year, and 10% of that is 26, and therefore if I miss 26 of my uploads, it will still be a success. And I find that this is mostly just psychologically beneficial because it just feels like, I don't know, it feels kinder, it feels less rigid, and I think it just reduces stress. If I begin to struggle with putting myself out there, I will employ the following strategy. So if you are someone who has a job, like if you're employed by someone else, then it doesn't matter how little you feel like. If you don't feel like doing the work, you've still got to do the work. And we need to apply that same way of thinking to things where it's your own future that is at stake here. So think, on a day you come home, you really can't be bothered, something just isn't working, and something you don't, I don't know what it would be for you. For me, it's often, oh, well, nothing I do is ever any good. I get very negative in my head. I don't know what it would be like for you. But it's a case of trying to think, what is going to pull you out of that? What is going to remind you why you're doing this? What's going to get you back on track? So it could be something really, really inspiring. It could be maybe get inspired from watching other YouTubers. So you might want to make a note of that. Maybe it's listening to music. Maybe it's listening to Go the Distance from Hercules. That's always incredibly inspiring. But I've really been getting into journaling recently, and I think I'm going to make mine a journaling session with these 3 journaling prompts. So the first one would be, what is stopping you from doing the work required? I think my next one would be, when you look back at this year, what do you want to have achieved? My last one would probably be, think of the last time that you didn't want to do the work, but you pushed through. How did you feel? I think they would be my three prompts. But it's finding what would work for you. So I'm going to link the contract in the description for you to fill out and print off if you so wish. The thing to remember is that there is absolutely no shame in wanting to increase the amount of opportunities that are going to come your way in the future. And I think that a lot of us feel like people are going to judge you for that. But so what? Their judgment means absolutely nothing. I have felt and still feel in a lot of ways that I don't have the authority to call myself a YouTuber or a blogger because my success doesn't meet the successes of those people more successful than me. But it's not them who gets to decide what defines a YouTuber or a blogger, and it's not the audience who gets to decide that. It's you get to decide that. If you want to identify with being a blogger or an Instagrammer or a YouTuber or just a social media person, then you have the authority to do that, just you on your own. I commit to identifying as an Instagrammer/YouTuber/blogger/other, just in the same way that I identify as a teacher, and therefore it enables me to behave in a certain way, regardless of how many followers, subscribers or likes my posts receive. I understand that progress can feel slow, but the only way to fail is to give up. I understand that if people do not enjoy my content, they do not have to watch/read it, and their decision not to is a reflection of their preferences and not my abilities. I will strive to enjoy the process of creating content and not focus on the results because they are ultimately out of my control. So really think on these words, really try and understand what you are committing yourself to. And I want you to sign the contract. And if you want me to hold you accountable, because I'm more than happy to do that, email me at info@nixmusic.com and I will check in with you every now and again to see how you're getting on. We can have a little progress meeting. So I hope you found that useful. This is something that I'm trying for the first time as well, so I'm kind of interested to hear how we all get on with that. But I kind of made that link quite recently as to, I act quite out of character when I'm being a teacher because that is what the job requires. So I feel like if I try and identify more with the role of YouTuber or Instagrammer or whatever it is, then I'm going to feel less, embarrassed isn't the word, but less like I have no right or I have no authority to be there doing that. Because I do have a right. I have a right to be on this platform. I think there is a definite fear of being judged, but that shouldn't affect how I live my life. That should just be something that I acknowledge and move on from. So that said, please feel free to follow me on my Instagram and to check out my blog. I've been posting every single day recently, and I will see you in my next video. Please let me know how you get on, and I shall see you later. Goodbye. I always love the sound of a bride.